At the bottom left of Whirlwind in the red with a very, very nice defense in the game, in the first game. We have the StarTale player. It is
StarTale.
Very, very strong defense set up against Lucira's countless attacks. He did not waver once. At the bottom right, we have his opponent though. We have in the blue, Incredible Miracles.
I am Lucira.
Where's my Twitch? His posture is amazing. This guy is like, he's like rock solid. He's like,
should have sat next to him on a plane for 14 hours, man. That's what I did. And he was.
Did he sit like this the entire time?
No, actually, no. But at first, yeah. At first he did, but eventually he got tired and he kind of relaxed in his chair and went to sleep.
Okay.
But yeah, he was pretty at 90 degrees. I don't know what else to say, man. He had a good posture. Well, this drone
I
will.
respect that.
Yeah, I really do. You know, it's tough to be a nerd and have good posture. You know, and be like a successful pro gamer. And you know, you're practicing StarCraft all day. You have a tendency to lean forward. It's tough.
Yeah, a lot of people will eventually just come to the Gollum style. the Gollum posture, kind of like.
Yeah.
My keyboard.
That's pretty much me, man. I'm pretty bad about that. I sit in my room like I wish I could. You know, sometimes I get really serious about my posture, and I go through phases of like trying to fix it and be perfect. I'm not terrible. I'm not actually Gollum, all right, but I've improved a lot with my posture. But it's still not perfect, and you know, I have a tendency to lean forward just like everyone else. We're the type, man. We play games a lot. We lean forward. Why? I don't know. We're into it.
Yeah, I guess so. Currently, the build orders started to evolve pretty normal. One barracks into expand for Hack. He's getting his... no gas so far. For Lucira, on the other hand, we have the extractor building. He started with his 15 hatch and then built the spawning pool.
Hack's leaving his SCV in there on, you know, he just kind of left him there to die. It's kind of... it's a little bit sad. But,
the SCV was probably a little bit cheeky. He told him to scout, and the SCV was like, why me? Why me? Can't you do it yourself or what?
The SCV is fascinated by the creep. He's actually an archaeologist or something.
How does it feel when you stand on creep?
I don't know. It probably feels like when you're inside of an asteroid and the Millennium Falcon, you step outside and the ground's not entirely stable. It feels a little bit moist and
How
gross.
would you know? Have you ever been in an asteroid?
Yeah, actually.
What?
It was crazy, man. And suddenly I realized I was in an asteroid. I had to jump back inside the Millennium Falcon and fly out of there, and then it tried to close on me. So I had to fly the ship into a vertical position so I could get between the teeth. I got out okay. It tried to grab me. The thing was, then I had to face a Star Destroyer blockade, and then
you woke up?
It was kind of crazy, man, but I got out okay.
I'm happy you did. I'm really happy you did. But yeah, you have to tell me all about it later on.
Yeah, I will. I can teach you how to fly the thing. It's actually easier than it looks.
Oh, it's here? Awesome.
Yeah.
Why did you park it around the corner?
Yeah, the problem though is the hyperdrive's having some malfunctions right now, so I gotta get that fixed. And I feel like the city is actually being occupied by my arch nemesis right now.
Yeah, I think the problem that you already also have is that gas is so expensive right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite expensive. Space travel is not what it used to be.
It's just annoying. Those taxes, man. Those taxes.
By the way, we have combat shields first before stim, and we're having, I used to freak out about it when this happened, when people didn't go reactor Hellions after one Rax expands, but it's becoming more normal. And StarTale players, especially Bomber and Hack, are the ones doing this marine pressure with combat shields often, or with no combat shields, just moving out very quickly to attack the third base. Because Zergs are playing greedy, and yeah, Queens do a lot of extra DPS. They have that, extra range with the new patch, but that's not enough. If you only have Queens with no real Zergling support, or no Banelings especially, just regular marine push out like the one we're about to see from Hack right now can really do damage to you.
We talked about it. This is a new style, an older style that's coming back for the right reasons, and I really like it. I really love it. Oh, it's really nice to see that the Overlord actually has no idea about the Zerglings. Look at this, even though Lucira has the units in the position. Heck, how did you know? if that is actually a replay on ladder, people would be like, oh my god, this is a map hacker. But no, guys, he's not. He's sitting in the booth right behind us, and he just knows. He knows there's going to be an overlord, and he is in the perfect position to attack this.
He is indeed. It feels like Lucira has some star sense about this as he's making a Baneling Nest as well as a Spine Crawler right now. He is going to go right for the natural, not the third base location. He's attacking that Evolution Chamber, but he's not going to attack the Spine. He loses a Marine, forces the cancel there, but here's the problem. The Queens may be enough on top of that ramp. He's going to have to decide exactly how he wants to attack here. He can go home at any moment. He can scan and kill this creep.
Scan would be brilliant. He doesn't know how many creep tumors there actually are, and he doesn't know how many of them are active creep tumors. They can still get additional ones. So right now, I have to say that this early attack forced the reaction of Lucira. He got additional Zerglings. He also has this Queen in position. The timing of Hack, I really like what he did here. He was not as successful as he could have been, but it was really nice. Putting the pressure onto the Lucira, forcing him to get more Zerglings, to not only focus on his drone production. Really well done. I like this.
I like this because this type of pressure is so much more successful than the Hellion pressure that we've been... What is going on? Unlike Lucira, just because you're Lucira doesn't mean you have to do this. Hack's like, I can see that Baneling. Like, I can actually see that. He's like, what are you trying to pull? That was really weird, actually. He just makes like 2 Banelings after he sees 2 bunkers. Is he trying to fake Hack into making a bunch of bunkers, think he's going to do like a big attack or something? That was really weird.
I think he's confusing the Banelings with the Spider Mines from Out of the Swarms. They would be able to one-hit those bunkers. One Spider Mine per bunker, that's okay.
Do the Widow Mines actually latch onto buildings as well as...
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was like, wow, I didn't know that. That is insane. Well, that could be... well, I'm still looking forward to Widow Mine. That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, I really do.
I don't.
Like, I really do. I play Pros, man, but I might have to change that.
Yeah.
I was Terran and Brood War, man. I can switch to the expansions. I can do that. 3 Extractors going down for Lucira, who's already got 1-1 on the way, but he's a little bit behind in upgrades with Hack leading the way. His Armory coming out at a perfect timing for him to start 2-2.
You were Terran and Brood War, now you're Protoss. Idra would tell you right now that you really don't have self-respect.
Yeah, he probably would. He's told me that before. It's 2 medevacs coming out right now, and with these, there is first 2, in fact. He's probably going to start dropping a little bit.
I like that Lucira is mixing it up here, that he's not relying on the same style that he used in Entombed Valley, that he's now once again... There was one thing that we did not point out on Entombed Valley, that Lucira and his mechanics were quite good. He used tumors over and over again to spread his creep forward, and he does it again on this map as well. We talked a little bit about it when Hack was attacking with those Marines earlier on. It was a really nice decision. So I like how Lucira works with his mechanics, and you could also see with the strategy that he played that he really had to focus on his injects too, so he does not miss a lot here. On the other hand, we have him now with a lot more harvesters already, with 77 to 52. That is, he's in a much better position than he was in the last.
Spore! That was unfortunate. This attack is actually going to be really effective. He's already split his Marines, but there's so many Zerglings here. I mean, this is Lucira's style personified, and he's going to try to get out. Whoa! I don't know about that one, Lucira, but he got a lot of damage done to that orbital.
And he kills every single SCV.
Yep, a pretty good trade despite losing a lot of Banelings for no reason.
15, 16. Oh, wow. He got every single one of them. Very well done. The Banelings, they all died, though. That's definitely a bit of a problem. But as long as Hack doesn't really have mining going on at his third base, Lucira will be fine. He's on 3 bases, and he's getting his tech. He's getting the Spire. +2/+2 is on its way. He's even in upgrades here with Hack. He's a little bit behind them.
Just
but he's
slightly, yeah. And he's getting the Spire, which is going to help him to deter drops. He's double expanding right now. Well, not double expanding. He's making a hatch as well as a macro hatch. He's going to have so much larva available to him, which is important when you play this style of Lucira because it's so larva intensive with the amount of Zerglings you have to make. This is a mistake that Hyun oftentimes makes when he does the same styles. He does not have enough larva to reproduce units. So it's not something Lucira is going to allow to happen to him.
This map works really well for Lucira, by the way. He always expands away from his opponent. That's why Zerg players love Whirlwind. He's going in for another run by once again kills units, and exactly at the moment in time when we had so many mules. He's trying to make the Zerg without losing too many Zerglings, but has to run past his opponent's army. And also we have a drop at the top right. He's trying to get the Medivac into position. He's not there just yet, but Lucira playing really well. Once again, we can see how map aware he is and how he uses this run-by attempt.
Yep, he forces his opponent to use scans by burrowing his Zerlings. He's got a few more around the map. He's actually burrowing again. And if he has to continue to scan like this, it's very unfortunate. It's a lot of mules wasted. He's even burrowed under the command center here. This is actually insane.
What Hack has to do right now, what I'm missing in his composition are actually a few siege tanks. I like this. The Spire Medivac style is not really bad, but I really prefer if when a Terran player uses a couple of siege tanks as well. But Hack is completely relying on a very bio-heavy style. And this can work very well if you execute it correctly and if you also use drops.
Hive is on the way for Lucira, which is a transition he does not always make in this matchup. He may just get the adrenal glands.
Sorry to cut you off here, but the bottom right was actually, he was about to drop, but he got repelled. I can't see what exactly the units are there. He was only spotted, but now he's dropping at the 4th.
Yep, there were
you can see it on the mini-map. There's not a lot that's happening right now. Is he actually able to get the... There's not a lot of units for Lucira. We have a big fight here going on in the middle of the map, but the drop is still going strong at the right side of the map. And Hack is in a great position, not only pressuring in the middle, but he might be able to take down the 4th.
Yep, and I think he certainly will get the 4th at least. The bio forces here may be enough to pull Lucira back. I'm not sure why Lucira is actually retreating here. He's going to lose this hatchery. It's down to 50, 30, 20. It dies.
The 4th is gone, guys. To the right side of the map, Hack's drop just killed the expansion.
I'm surprised he's not actually committing to this engagement more. He's thrown away a lot of lings now. Here he goes. Oh, and the queens, the infestors are out, and there's so many mutas to chase this army down. He is not going to escape with anything here.
He's fighting on creep against infestor, muta, ling, baneling, and without siege tanks, I don't think that's really something that you can do.
No.
You need the siege tanks to keep those infestors in check. At the same time, you can also use them to take down the banelings early on, at least deal a bit of splash damage to them. But now Hack is in a very bad position. He's on half the supply of his opponent. He killed the 4th, which was really, really important here, but the lead for Lucira is just, it's so amazing. He has double the supply. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Expend like 3 or 4 times, it doesn't really matter to him.
I mean, Hack needs a 4th, but he has no ability to take one with a creep spread like this and with how many units he has out. By the way, that factory from earlier that you wish he was making siege tanks with is floating over his creep right now. Probably get killed by mutas at any moment. Full health though. 1250 on that factory.
I think it's just a little bit too late to make this pure Bioforce work if you don't drop like crazy. One dropship is not enough. You have to get more. It's a bit something that, for example, Polt sometimes does. We've seen Live do it. If you really stick to this style, then you have to drop a lot more.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
With the amount of mutas out, that's very difficult to pull off. He's got mutas and tons of creep spread as well as the Overlord splitting. It's hard to find a place where Lucira will not just find and
That's why I said it's a little bit too late.
It's too late, yeah.
With Infestors and Mutalisks, Baneling and Zergling, +3/+3 on the map, if you only rely on Marine Marauder Medivac, I don't think that this will really work. You have to completely overpower your opponent. And usually, quite often we see it just with a Terran player trying to trade efficiently and force his opponent's basically overwhelm his opponent's production.
Well, Lucira, by the way, even though he got that hive, as I mentioned, he's just getting it for 3/3 and his adrenal glands. He is sticking pure with Ling, Muta, Baneling. This is a little bit 2010, but Lucira is making it work, man. He knows how to do it. His Baneling count right now is 40. He's got 40 Banelings out, 79 Zerglings. So at one point he had 120 at least. He's got to be a little bit careful with how he deals with this small bioforest because it's very cost efficient against his composition. Hack needs to do something. He's not doing anything right now. He's not even clearing creeps. Scan! Because if you don't, man, you're going to be in a lot of trouble against this force over and over and over again. How can you ever fight here?
He basically can't. He's trying to split already, but he's not scanning at all. He's not forcing this creep back, and the advantage that Lucira has on a creep, the speed advantage, is just working in his favor. He can close the distance so far. Oh my god!
Well, that's the end of those SCVs. He even hit a lot of those on the command center as well, so he's going to force repair.
36 killed in total. Even forces another scan with a burrowed Zergling. At the right side of the map, though, the drop takes down the 4th of Lucira again.
He has so many scans available, and he's not dealing with this creep. I mean, there's a lot of tumors there, but he can scan and kill them and start working on that, but he's not doing it. He has so much energy available to him. He's just going to consistently fight against the worst style to fight on creep while being on creep. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He can still win this game, and the game isn't lost for him, but he's in a tough spot right now, and he's not making it any easier for himself.
He tries to engage here, but Lucira is already trying to find the perfect way to engage as he's streaming in now. Zerglings moving in, the Banelings are rolling, and the Fungals, they certainly help as well. The nice Marine spread is actually sick, but it's just not enough because those Banelings are way too fast on creep.
Way too fast. GG. Lucira ties things up. I cannot believe Hack did not try to deter that creep, not even a little bit. Lucira wipes his eyes. He knows he's going to game 3. Oh, it was a well-won fight, sticking with Ling Muta Banling to the late game, just spreading his creep like a madman, and not making any real mistakes that game, I have to say.
Yeah, the series is tight. It's 1-1, and I have to say that's just... I don't know, Lucira played really well. Hack never really got into the game.
Yeah.
I liked the early attack, but then he had a huge problem making this work in the next game. The next map actually is not gonna really ensure self-confidence here, because this is gonna be...
It's gonna be Atlantis Spaceship, and this is a great map for Lucira style. Both of these maps are, in fact, so Hack is really gonna have to put on the steam here. He probably planned on winning the first 2 games, so he didn't even have to play on this map. But unfortunately for him, he's gonna have to do it anyways. Lucira looks so ready in the booth there, and Hack has a tough game ahead of him. He's got his hands clasped, looks a little bit stressed, but he definitely can do this, and he knows Lucira's style. He's studied it, I'm sure. It's very apparent to everyone in Korea. Everyone's been talking about how Lucira has been using the style repeatedly recently. Even outside of Korea, people talk about this. I mean, Lucira is the Ling Banling aggressor guy. He always makes more than 100 Lings at a time. He knows what he's up against.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough match for him nonetheless, especially on Atlantis Spaceship. Even if you know what you're facing, dealing with it is a different story.
The players are ready. Typing so in the chat right now, you can see their hands moving.
I can't believe that Lucira doesn't have a personal sponsorship by Twitch TV.
I actually thought about making a joke like that earlier, but I was like, nah. I'm glad that we're on the same page here, though.
That would be like the best thing ever. That would be Reddit #1 within 10 seconds.
I just saw Ace, man. He's keeping a low profile. He's got this hood. He's in the corner. Maybe you guys get a shot of him later. But we'll find out if his teammate Hack can take out Lucira here. He's had a tough second game. We'll see what he can do on Atlantis Spaceship. This is the GSL Code with Calder and Wolf.